December 29th, 2006, London. A clerk in the British Treasury processes a payment that has been made every year for 6 decades. The check is written to the United States Treasury. The amount, $83.25 million. It is the final installment on a debt that began 60 years earlier, in 1946, when Britain borrowed money to prevent its people from starving after winning World War II. The clerk closes the file. The debt is paid. After 60 years of annual payments, Britain has finally finished paying America back for the privilege of having survived the war. But this clerk doesn't know the full story. He doesn't know that the original loan was $3.75 billion, and Britain has just paid $7.5 billion total, double the principal. He doesn't know that before Britain even received that loan, it had already sold $12 billion in overseas investments at fire sale prices to American buyers. He doesn't know that Britain handed over gold worth $4 billion, surrendered strategic naval bases across the Caribbean, and dismantled the trading system that held the British Empire together. He doesn't know that when you add up every asset Britain sold, every base it leased, every advantage it surrendered, and every dollar it repaid, the total wealth transferred from Britain to America between 1940 and 2006 was approximately $450 billion in today's money. For comparison, the Marshall Plan, celebrated as American generosity to rebuild Europe, cost $200 billion in today's money. America extracted more wealth from Britain alone than it gave to all of Europe combined. And Britain was the ally. Britain was on the winning side. This is the story of how the United States didn't defeat the British Empire with armies. It acquired the British Empire through foreclosure. How America turned Britain's victory into Britain's bankruptcy. How the financial terms negotiated between 1940 and 1946 transferred the wealth of the world's largest empire to America, not through conquest, but through contracts signed under duress. And how the mechanism used to strip Britain became the template for the International Monetary Fund, which has used the exact same playbook on over 80 countries in the past 75 years. Because understanding what happened to Britain between 1940 and 2006 isn't just history. It's understanding the debt trap that controls the global economy today. The same forced asset sales, the same wealth extraction, the same American institutions profiting, just different countries being stripped. Let me show you exactly how it worked. And once you see the mechanism, you'll see it operating everywhere. In September 1939, when Germany invaded Poland, Great Britain was the world's dominant financial power. The British Empire covered a quarter of the earth. The City of London was the center of global finance. The pound sterling was the world's reserve currency. Britain's gold reserves, 4 billion Britain's overseas investments, 20 billion railroads in Argentina, copper mines in Chile, industrial holdings in the United States. The British Empire generated $500 million annually just from investment income, but Britain had one fatal vulnerability. Unlike America, Britain imported more than it exported. Britain was an island that had to import 60% of its food and almost all raw materials.